everyone, my name is Ashley Dawn, and I'm really thrilled to have you back on my channel here again today. Now, today's video is one that I have been really excited about doing, and that might sound a little odd, but I think that this is a really powerful video because it will express and explain the best and most powerful ways to heal yourself. So if this is something that is exciting to you, please like and subscribe below. I absolutely love your support. If you guys have any questions, please comment. I will answer every one of them. Okay, so the first thing I want to explain is that there's a duality to almost everything. And when we're talking about healing ourselves, we have to understand the duality of the situation. One, we need to love and respect and honor ourselves, even if we made the mistake, even if we caused the drama, the disappointment, the suffering, whatever it is. We have to love, respect, and honor ourselves, which sounds good, and a lot of people say they do. But this next part, the duality here, the yin-yang, the balance of it, is the rest of its work. And a lot of people, and this is probably going to make a couple people frustrated, but the reality is that a lot of people just don't want to do that work. They are terrified of the light within themselves. They are terrified of change. They are terrified to investigate some of the traumas and things that have disturbed them or bothered them that they have shoved way down deep. And they're just simply not willing to work on themselves. So to understand this healing process, we not only want to incorporate a ton of love and gratitude for ourselves, but we also have to look at some of the things that we have shoved down deep and aren't so pleasant. And you have to work. And when I'm working with my clients, whether I'm doing Reiki, mediumship, chakra balancing, it doesn't matter what I'm doing. I always tell my clients, I do like 10% of the work. You do the 90. I'll balance out the chakras. I'll, explain things that I'm picking up on or what I'm seeing or what I'm feeling. But 90% of the healing has to start with the actual person. I don't do that. I'm not magical, right? You have to want to heal, which means you come in for the appointment or you're watching this video, right? And then you have to take action on doing that. Basically what I'm saying is that all talk in this situation isn't going to do jack. You actually have to work at this. Okay, so now that we've established that there is, yes, it's wonderful to love yourself, but you're going to have to work through some stuff first. Let's dive into the positive stuff first. So how do you kind of reconnect with or fall in love with yourself again? Okay, so the first thing that I'd like to point out is, and this is kind of homework. I give all my clients homework. The first and easiest thing is we've got to change the perception of ourselves and the situation. Let's say I'm really upset because I'm going through a really difficult breakup or divorce. And so I'm viewing this situation as such a hard time. My heart is broken. This is a lot of heart chakra stuff that we're talking about right now. Okay. So my heart is broken and I'm very, very upset. Okay. So the first thing I need to start doing is changing my perspective. There is always reasons for everything. And although this may be difficult and I might not have wanted it and I may have not even seen it coming, there has to be reasons behind this. And your guides, the universe, your higher self knows of those reasons, although you may not at the time. And there's probably things that will come up that you'll realize why this was necessary, why it wasn't important, why it actually becomes a gift. Yes, most of the time, the hardest things we go through, our traumas and things like that, are some of our greatest gifts, okay? If you get anything out of this video, that right there, okay? So the first thing I will tell you to do is acts of kindness. And I know it sounds kind of crazy and silly and simple, and some of these things do seem really simple, but honoring and loving yourself, showing yourself that respect begins with acts of kindness. Be kind to yourself, right? Gift yourself things. If you are, hey, I'm going to stop off and get some coffee, and you're, in the drive-thru and you want to get a cup of coffee and you usually get a small, but you're like, man, I've worked so hard, or I'm just having a rough day, and get the large coffee. You deserve this. This is a gift for yourself. Honor yourself, love yourself, respect yourself. Start showing yourself these gifts of kindness and gratitude for yourself. Okay, so acts of kindness, and that can be more time that you spend doing something you enjoy. That can be hitting the snooze button. That can be getting the large coffee. That can be just small, little, simple acts of kindness. It doesn't have to cost anything. It's just these little things that show yourself, and you are very consciously aware that you are doing this because you are telling yourself, I believe in you, I love you, you deserve this. Okay, so number one, acts of kindness. Number two, you need to start speaking and thinking positive, loving, kindness, and compassionate things about yourself. Okay, so we are very guilty of this, self included, but we are very guilty of this. We speak terribly about ourselves. We speak negatively about ourselves all the time. I'm so stupid. I'm so fat. I'm so whatever. You know, we say these things as if they have no effect on us. And that is so untrue, right? Our thoughts are things that create chemicals in our brain that are released into our body, and our thoughts, those chemicals and hormones, have a biochemical and physiological effect on our physical bodies and health. And if our physical, mental, emotional, spiritual, any one of those is out of balance, it'll start to weigh heavy on the others and cause us some issues. The most obvious ones are usually physical health, right? So your thoughts are things, they matter. So stop being your own bully. Stop. Seriously, it's really a hard habit to break, but you need to really start paying attention to what you say to yourself, okay? Because if you are the first one to be willing to treat yourself like that, you're then setting the bar this low, and anybody else that treats you like that, it doesn't cause any red flags because you treat yourself like that, right? So the expectation is already set low. No, you need to love and honor yourself so much that you would never talk to yourself like that. And you would catch yourself the minute that you say something that's very unkind or that you say something out of frustration, right? So you need to start turning things around, changing the perspective. You know, you look in the mirror and you put on an outfit and you're like, oh my God, this is like, I look like a fat slob, okay? No, the outfit may not fit your body and shape. It may not feel like what you want to wear today. You may not feel 100%. So when you put something on that's a little too tight and clingy, you're like, yeah, I'm not feeling it, okay? So say that. I'm not feeling this outfit is different than, oh my gosh, I feel like I'm a big, huge slob or something like that, okay? So changing our wording, changing our perspective. I love myself. I'm grateful for my job. I'm grateful for the opportunities the universe has given me. I honor who I am. I honor the decisions that I make. I'm so happy that I get to participate in this event. Whatever it is, start saying those positive, loving, kind, and compassionate things to you first, okay? Then you can start aligning how you bring in partners and other people into your life that start having that same vibration that you do, right? But it's got to start with you, okay? So first, acts of kindness. Second, think and speak in kindness, okay? And the third, you need to start visualizing what it is that you are trying to accomplish or achieve. If you are hurt and you feel traumatized or you're upset and you're sad, visualize the healthier version of you. Visualize the happy version of you. Visualize the new job, the new you. Basically, what does it feel like to be put in that environment, right? Visualize yourself. Visualize love and light around you all the time. Visualize, if you're working on a particular chakra, visualize the light of that color around you, right? Visualize that 2.0 version of yourself. So act on it, speak and think on it, start to visualize it. You create your reality. So what we're doing is we're changing our perspective and creating this positive change, healing, right? Okay, and the fourth thing is ask. Ask your guides for assistance. Ask your guides to and your angels to blanket you in just unconditional love, right? Ask for help. Right? Ask your guides for help. They will be there always, and they're always there. They're there right now. The illusion of loneliness and the illusion of being alone is because you are detached from who you are and yourself. You are feeling lost because you are not feeling you're not standing in your truth, and you're not feeling who you are. Someone who is to this point in their awakening and their healing cannot feel lost. I've got a ton of friends in my head, right? I've got, all kinds of guides and angels and people that I communicate with on a regular basis. There is no way, it is impossible for me to feel alone or lonely or separate from the collective, things like that, right? So if you do, there's a lot of work that needs to be done. And again, there has to be willingness, wanting to heal and actually taking action, and willingness, giving yourself a permission to do so, okay? So that is the first half. And I said this is duality. That means there's two things. So we have all the acts of kindness that you're doing, and the love and the compassion, the changing in perspective. But that's not going to be enough. You have to do the harder work, which is the work that nobody wants to do. So here it comes. Here's the things that nobody's wanting to do, right? So the first thing, how to take accountability for yourself. Identify your triggers. This is huge. Identifying your triggers. When you feel like you got your feelings hurt, when you quickly react and you snap at somebody for something, when you get frustrated or angry, like there's somebody too slow in front of you when you're driving, when you, when you are acting out of emotional responses, okay? Those are your triggers, and they're often a little ugly, okay? And you may not verbalize them all the time, you may not act on them all the time, but they will happen in your head, right? You'll instantly be like, oh my God, I just wanna, punch him in the face, and you're in your head still smiling on the outside, right? Those are triggers for you. These people think that these are bad. People think that triggers are bad, right? Triggers are not bad. They are gifts. This is your higher self and the universe and your guides putting a red flag, stamping that is exactly where your shadows lie. That is exactly where your focus needs to be. That is where the healing needs to begin. Why did you respond that way? Because it has nothing to do with the car in front of you. It has nothing to do with what that person just said. It has to do, you got to circle back, keep tracing back. Oh, this happened at work. Well, that might not be it. Go back further until you find the source of that shadow. Triggers are a beautiful opportunity for growth and healing, right? So that is where you find people are like, well, I don't know what to do. I don't know where to begin. Yes, you do. You have triggers. Those need work, right? And so that's where we begin. So identifying your triggers is number one. Number two, you've got to do shadow work. And I've talked about this before. So shadow work is when you find the things that frustrate you or anger you. You find the hurt, right? What you do is you've got to stand in front of that person, that situation, that trauma. You have to look at it right in the face. You need to be brave. You need to dig it up out of the depths, right? And you have to honor it, look at it, right? Because it is your greatest teacher, okay? So as you're meditating, as you're looking at this shadow, right? There is no reason to have fear. There's no reason to have anger. There's no reason to feel sad or frustrated about this situation anymore, because we are going to honor it. We are going to respect what it gave us. Again, this is a gift. It made us wiser, stronger, braver. There were opportunities here for growth, right? And this is exactly what we came here to do, was grow and learn. So that shadow had value to it. It helped mold and create and make who we are. And we are badasses. We are these wonderful beings of light, right? This shadow is simply shedding light, right, on the situation. Now, it seems kind of ironic to say that, but the shadow is sitting on top of hurt and anger. As we come from a loving place, shadows cannot lurk where there's love and light. So shine your badass light on that shadow and say, look, I'm going to honor you. I'm going to look at you and I'm going to say, that was inappropriate, or this was wrong, or I take responsibility for the role I played, but I'm wiser, stronger, better, smarter. And now I'm going to let go of what no longer serves me. I see the value in this situation, but I'm going to let go of the rest. Let that shadow go. Send it away with love and light, not with frustration and anger. Okay, it's not one of those things where you're like, forget you, No, it's you send it away with love and light. Thank you so much for what you taught me. But as you send it away, it will no longer hold power over you, right? And that's the key, all right? So for the hard work, one is identifying the triggers. Number two, you got to do your shadow work. Number three, investigate your expectations. So yes, there are people that will say things or do things that hurt your feelings, that they're very sad or mean or inappropriate or something like that. So yes, I am saying that people will do those things. but was it the person that actually hurt you, or was it the expectation? So what I want you to do is investigate when you set an expectation for yourself or somebody else. I expected my parents to love me unconditionally. I expected my partner to be faithful and loyal to me when they were not. I expected my friend to be there for me when I needed somebody, right? Hold on, pump the brakes. It's the expectation that you set for someone else or yourself that was not fair. And then you set yourself up for failure and frustration and suffering, right? Because guess what? All those people probably have their own shadow work, their own trauma, and they themselves have not gone through their healing process and their awakening properly. So guess what happens? They are incapable of showing you unconditional love. They're incapable of being faithful and honest and truthful to you. They're incapable of being there for you when you needed somebody, right? They are dealing with their own stuff. So yes, you can be upset and angry about it, but when you realize that part of the problem was the expectation that you had that somebody was supposed to do something, that's where you tripped up, okay? So recognize when somebody did something that was mean. Like somebody could just walk up to me and punch me right in the face, right? That's mean. I didn't have an expectation of anybody ever punching me in the face, right? That's not what I'm talking about. What I'm saying is, yes, people can be mean and hurtful to each other just like a punch in the face. But when somebody is showing me that they're incapable and I expect them to have a different behavior or response, that's on me. That's not on them, right? We're all learning how to heal. We're all working on ourselves, right? And so the expectations need to go, okay? So it's expectations that cause more harm. It's not necessarily the person or the situation. It's the expectation, right? Because everybody has free will choices. Everybody's learning how to heal and grow themselves. And again, when you see patterns are huge. When you keep making the same mistakes, when you see people doing the same things and you keep expecting them to change and act better, right? It's the expectation. Everybody has free will choices. They can choose when they want to heal. They can choose when they want to act like a better human or not. And if they are making poor choices, right, then you need to step back and ask yourself, what's the role I'm playing? And am I the enabler? Am I the one setting up the situation for failure, right? So expectations is huge. So when we're doing all the hard work, number 1, triggers, shadows, and expectations. The last one, number 4, is forgiveness. It's time you forgive yourself. It's time that you forgive yourself for not knowing these things that I'm talking about. It's time to forgive yourself for only doing as best you could at the time in the emotional healing process that you were in. It's time that you forgive yourself for being too hard on yourself, for not honoring your feelings, for not listening to your gut instinct. You know, it's just time to forgive yourself. We can only do our best. And sometimes that's all we got, right? So it's time to forgive yourself for being put in those situations, for making those poor choices, for setting people up with their expectations and yourself, setting yourself up for failure. That when you put expectations out for yourself, right? Allowing yourself that space to heal. When you have done these 4 things, and simultaneously, you are starting to change your perspective, loving yourself, honoring yourself more, being kind, having a different thought process, speaking better to yourself and more positively. Both of these together is how we heal, okay? This is huge, and I hope that this video resonates with you guys. I hope this answers some questions I get asked all the time. People watch my chakra videos, people watch my guide videos, and they're like, well, how do I do this? Okay, this is the how-to video, okay? If you guys have questions, please ask me down below. But I say, love and light all the time to you guys when I exit the video. But what I really mean is give yourself love and light. I give myself love and light, right? So honor yourself, love yourself, respect yourself. Act on this, go through the healing process. It sucks. I get it. We've all done it and been there. And we all think we've gotten through one situation, we've healed that issue, and then we get triggered again, right? So we've all been there and we all are growing and learning. So it's okay to honor that as well, right? It's okay to know that we're still going through this process. So Anyway, I hope you guys, that this video resonated with you. I hope that you love this video. Please like and subscribe below. I feel like this video is very important. It's come up several times this week, and I just couldn't wait to share this information with you. All right, have a wonderful week. Love and light, my friends.